Tieflings can be some of the most fun and nefarious creatures to play in the D&D Multiverse. That's why I talked to Mike Merles about their origins and what he likes most about them.
So Tieflings are an interesting case. There is the game design side of the story, which explains why they're in the game and how they've changed. And then there's the in-world side of the story. So I'll start with the boring, real-world Earth origin of Tieflings, which they appeared in Planescape, the original box set. It was when they were made as playable characters. I can't remember if they appeared before that. Originally, Tieflings were anyone who had any sort of fiendish blood in their ancestry was a Tiefling. We've since refined that because one of the fun things about a Tiefling was your character could have a very wide range of appearance, because you could say my ancestor was a Yugoloth, my ancestor was a Rakshasa, whatever you wanted. I don't think Rakshasas were fiends back then, but whatever, right? You could have a lot of different appearances. But we thought it'd be interesting to have a race that was more in tune with, okay, they can trace an origin back to a bad guy faction in the game. And so that's when we decided Tiefling to refine it and focus it a bit more to being humanoids who have a tie to the Nine Hells. And that's where you go from Tieflings can look like almost anything that's humanoid to having a very diabolical look. A skin shade that might be a red or orange, horns, a tail. You look at them and you think, oh, like diabolic devil person. So that was the intent there. Now, the way we think today is Tiefling describes a plain-touched person who traces their ancestry to the Nine Hells. But plain touch describes in broader terms what in second edition would have been called the Tiefling. So this idea that you could have someone who has an ancestry that's tied to a Yugoloth or a Hag, that's still part of the D&D universe. And Tiefling has kind of gone from being the name of that category to being a name of a specific portion of that category. And plain touch describes the general thing of a humanoid who has fiendish ancestry of some sort. And I actually think Tieflings are really fun because you have that sort of diabolic background. You get to play the sort of edgy, darker character, and you can get away with it. And I think they also lend themselves well to character classes I enjoy playing, like rogues, warlocks, wizards. That combination of being crafty but also convincing, the silver-tongued devil kind of thing, right? Where it's like the devil's really calculating and also very charming, and that's why you end up in a contract maybe you didn't want, right? Everyone knows not to make a deal with the devil, but the devil's so persuasive and he makes such good points, right? So that's what I like about the Tiefling, and that's what I think is really fun about them. And we categorize in the player's handbook as less common than elves and dwarves and halflings. And the idea behind that being is we like this feel that if a Tiefling walks into a tavern in sort of a smaller village or town, it stands out. People think, maybe people in the tavern have never seen a Tiefling before. They know of them, but they have not met one before. So it also adds to that sense if you want to play a character, like if you like the idea of being the foreigner, someone who really stands out very distinctly, or as opposed to say, well, I want to play a character from Kalimshan and I am adventuring in the Dalelands, where like I'm a foreigner culturally, but I'm human, right? People don't, people know that I'm a person. I just happen to dress differently and have a different accent because I grew up far to the south and west. But I think especially in the Forgotten Realms, unless you're in open war with another human realm, most human realms get along pretty well because you're not going to make a distinction based on nationality when there's distinctions being made on which cosmic world are you from. There's bigger fish to fry in terms of like ongoing long-term feuds. So that's what the Tiefling lets you kind of tap into. You can walk into that, you can go to Shadowdale and people will think, oh, I don't know if we trust this person.
Thank you, Mike Merles, for again being on D&D Beyond. We'll have a whole lot more videos diving deep into the lore of the D&D Multiverse. I'm Todd Kenrick. Thank you for watching.